And now our first reader of 2015 Spookfest. Here he is, Jack Miller.
Yeah, I found the cord. Well, this is good. This is good. The light where it's at is kind of spooky up here too, looking out over the audience and everything. Halloween is perfect, isn't it? I mean, it's one of those things that we, as kids, we love it, and when we get older, we like taking the grandkids out and so forth, the kids out to do the trick or treating and everything. And we all love to be scared once in a while. I know that. I love a good scary movie and everything. And I don't know whether how many of you are around my age. I know a couple of you are. But if you remember, the Uptown Theater used to have on Halloween, they would have that Midnight Madness, and you'd go down there and they would show. That was the first time I'd ever seen The Thing. You remember the old movie The Thing with James Arness as the monster and everything? That was about one of the scariest movies around at that time. And I still love to be scared. It's been a while since I have, but James is right behind me, so he may take care of that tonight. There's not many memories that's etched into our childhood, into our adult memories, more than our childhood as at Halloween time. And I wrote this poem about Halloween and about the kids and their adventures on Halloween. And it goes like this. The leaves have fallen once again, and summertime is past. A Christmas fills the evening air. The time has come at last. A full moon in the autumn sky reveals the scene below. Monsters scream and witches fly, with candy bags in tow. A trick is payment for a treat from goblins in the night, a somersault or other feat, or maybe just a fright. They make their way from light to light where people cringe in fear from facing such an awful sight of monsters standing near. Such specters never seen before except in awful dreams. They come alone or by the score, silent or with screams. They come in sizes big and small with ages hid by masks, fearsome monsters one and all. And I lost my page there. I'm sorry about that. Bent upon their task. They are relentless in their quest, though bags are overflowing, till mothers cry amid protest, "That's it, that's all, we're going." With bags of candy, bars galore, they scurry to their lairs, vowing next year to get more and give much better scares. Thank you. As I said, I've always loved being scared, and I guess the best place we get scared is while we're asleep in our nightmares. And, I often think, about some of the nightmares that I had as a child. They were silly, but they were scary. And as you get older, the nightmares get a little bit more scary, and I guess that's because your imagination has to make you do a little bit better in order to scare you. This poem I wrote, and it's more for people my age and so forth that fall asleep in their chair while they're watching television or something like that. And it goes like this. A dream I had one lonely night while sleeping in my chair filled me with an awful fright and gave me quite a scare. I was alone in some dark place. My feet were stuck in goo. My heart began a frantic pace. My breath came faster, too. I saw a light I could not reach. My feet were tightly held. From behind me came a screech. I have you now, it yelled. I found the strength to pull me free, my shoes still full of goo. I felt the breath of what chased me as toward the light I flew. The light retreated as faster I ran, and the thing got closer too. My mind said, scream, reach it if you can, before it catches you. With hands outstretched, I grabbed the light as it flickered and faded from view. Now fully awake, I stare in fright at my shoes still full of goo. I think spiders have got a real good place in Halloween scares and everything. They're one of snakes and spiders are the two things that scare us most, I think, because they're under our feet and we don't see them until it's too late sometimes. As children, we're scared until we figure out that our shoes are bigger than they are. This happens with our children too. And I remember I wrote this story, actually wrote it for both my children and my grandchildren because they both seem to come along and do the same thing. And I hope you enjoy this poem, but it's written for, the little kids. It said, I saw a spider on the floor, not bothering anyone. If I wished I had something between my pages, I wouldn't do this. Again, I saw a spider on the floor, not bothering anyone, just doing its little spidery chore and having its spidery fun. My little girl gave a shriek. I love when she does that. The spider played its hide and seek. Too late, she stomped it flat. The kids, they love to do that. Like I said, I think I've got a picture, an old 8mm picture of my daughter. My wife and I have got made onto a VHS tape so we can watch them every once in a while of our children small. And we were stationed down in Florida when I was in the Navy, and it's a picture of my daughter out on the patio, and she's trying to step on the spider, and her foot just won't quite get down to the ground. and another thing, now as we get older, we have different things that interest us. Some of us drink a little too much, on holidays. Halloween's no different. I've done it myself many times, and I've also woke up the next morning and I've had a hangover. So I think a hangover is something that is appropriate for Halloween also. And I wrote a poem about a hangover, and I hope you enjoy it. The mirror lies, I tell myself, I am but a boy. Within me still reverberates a heart of youthful joy. This shell that stares with hollow eyes and leans upon this sink cannot be the vibrant man I was last night, I think. I am so much more, I know this mirror has concealed. That young and handsome Romeo last night the drinks revealed. Tonight I'll find I am still there beneath this sallow skin, again so suave and debonair, just hiding in the gin. That was one where you don't remember the Halloween the night before. Every 5 years, the Smith Cotton High School has their reunion, and I was in the Navy in 1957 when my class graduated, but I finished my years of high school with an OU SOFI course on a ship, and they let me come to their class reunions. My wife and I attended them for like 35 years now. We just had our 55th was the last one, and we've got another one coming up. But every 5 years, the class of 57 holds its reunion. And I wrote this poem, and they included it in one of their books for the reunion, which I was very glad of. And it's also a ghost story. It says, I've heard ghosts within those walls, young voices echoing through the halls. They come to visit now and then in quiet times when lights are dim. Voices we know so full of joy when they were here as girl and boy. They whisper now not to disturb or frighten those who may have heard. They are there just out of sight, around the corner, out of the light. There are others with them too, perhaps a reunion like we do. Their voices join to sing the praise of old Smith Cotton's glory days. Then they return to life in heaven, awaiting the rest of 57. I wrote this last poem especially for this Spookfest when I realized most of us are old enough to remember when Halloween did not require us to have our candy x-rayed and things of that nature. We could eat it and we didn't have to fear because we knew all the people that we went and knocked on the doors. Do you recall those Halloweens we loved when we were kids? Masks we made from paper bags and the tricks that we all did. The homemade treats we all enjoyed, candy apples and popcorn ball. Things we knew were safe to eat and never worried about at all. The piles of candy on the floor when trick-or-treats were done, and always wishing we had more till our belly aches would come. That was all I had planned on reading tonight, but I do have, and I had told Faith that I had written a couple of children's books. And so if you don't mind, I'd like to read to you one of those books that I'm still working on as far as the illustrations and everything. But hope maybe you like it and give me a little critique on it if you would. It's called My Mummy. Beneath the stairs in my house, there lives a scary mummy. My parents think it is a mouse, but I know I'm no dummy. I see it just as plain as day, but I'm the only one. It begs me to come in and play with promises of fun. It is a master of disguise, I've told my parents that. It makes itself most any size, becomes a coat or hat. I've seen it change before my eyes when Daddy comes to see, becoming gloves, a dress, or ties, but it cannot fool me. Someday I'll catch it, that's my plan. I won't hurt it, though. I'll trap it easy as I can, and then I'll let it go. I know a perfect place, you see, that's like a mummy's tomb, a place I'm not allowed to be. It's called my sister's room. Thank you.
You may be leaving for now, but the nightmares will return.